So I was born in Paris on the 2nd of May 1984, and I grew up in a small town called Fourqueux, which is close to Saint-Germain-en-Laye, which is west of Paris, in the wealthy neighborhoods. We had a very, very wealthy lifestyle. We had a nice house with a swimming pool and a tennis court. My father was driving his Ferrari in the weekends for fun. Very, very nice lifestyle. I come from a wealthy neighborhood. We had a summer house in Brittany where we were spending a lot of time out in nature by the sea. Beautiful place. We went skiing in the wintertime in the mountains, in the Alps in France. Beautiful scenery, beautiful. So I had a very, very rich upgrowing and a lot of rich experiences. And to the contrast of that, the situation, the emotional situation in the family wasn't good. So my father and my mother remarried. My mother had married one time before, and she had 2 children from her first marriage with a German man. So my half brother and half sister are Swedish and German. My mother is Swedish. And my brother is 11 years older, my sister is 14 years older, they're now 46 and 49. And my father had married twice, but he hadn't gotten any children, and he absolutely wanted a child. So my parents married, and they got me. I'm their only child. And opposite to this wealthy situation, to this abundance, this very, very nice neighborhood where we were living, the emotional situation deteriorated quite quickly. So as I said, my father was it was a free man. He was unfaithful. He was unfaithful to my mother. My mother reacted in very extreme ways to my father's unfaithfulness. And both of them were smoking, they were drinking quite heavily, and they had very strong egos, very, very strong people, both of them. And they had an image, they wanted things to go well, but their images clashed with reality, and it didn't work out so well as they planned. So things just started getting worse and worse. And the thing is that my brother and my sister were not very welcomed by my father. There were some problems to integrate this new family together. That's quite often the case. It's not always so easy to recreate a new family. So that was a part. So my brother was a bit of a rebel. He was listening to Nirvana. He was skateboarding, staying in his room, in his own world, kind of way. And my sister had a very difficult phase when she was between 16 and 18. She entered depression, she had anorexia, and had to fight that psychological disease for some time. And my mother slowly started falling into depression because the image she had of what she wanted was not the reality. So she started to take antidepressant drugs, and just sooner at some point started mixing all of that with red wine. And a few times she mixed a bottle of red wines with some antidepressants and entered, it was kind of half suicide attempts because it had never worked out. But my sister found her a few times and had to call for the ambulance to come and get her. So it was extreme. There was a lot of tension in the family, and my mother then spent times first in the hospital, a regular hospital, to recover physically from these attempts, and then she was away for long periods of time in psychiatric institutions, and there was a woman who was taking care of me by that time, who was called Madame Rose, who was very, very nice woman, and she was taking care of me and cooking food and taking me at school when I was at the kindergarten, I think that's the name in English, and the whole atmosphere was very, very difficult. And when you are 5 years old, you're so close to your mother. You're like a sponge, right? You're really taking everything from the environment. That's how you grow. That's how you learn language. That's how you learn how to live in a community, how to live in society. You really take everything in from your environment. So when you're so close to your mom and your mom doesn't want to live, it's as if a part of you doesn't want to live either. And that conditioned a lot of my personality, how I built myself, and I had to go through accepting all of these, releasing all of these emotions, and accepting to free myself from that period of time. So it was very, very intense, and all of that led to the divorce. And my parents divorced and lived in the same city then, in different houses, so I could have my both parents, but there was still a lot of tensions for many years between my parents after the divorce. So this gives you a timeline, this gives you an understanding of the progression, of the deterioration of the events, and how everything evolved. And that's all for this first video. We're going to go now to the next video.